What's up, everyone? I'm with Aayaam today with PentaDimension. Aayaam, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. I appreciate you taking the time to hop on this call. I know we're working together for a few months. Just want to do a quick interview, see how everything's been going. But before I kind of dive into everything, can you let everyone know who you are and what you do for work?
Yeah. So my name's Aayaam. I'm an ex-Google account manager who ended up going off and starting his own agency. So I've been running that for about a year now, and got my first few clients through like word of mouth referrals and people that I knew in my network. And then I was kind of like hustling on the sales side myself, driving out cold calls, face-to-face conversations, and needed something that scaled a little bit better, especially in like the e-com space. That's like my primary service. I go after e-com Google Ads brands and help them scale their business. So was kind of starting to run into a wall, and that's where Justin came in.
Awesome. Yeah. So how'd you hear about, our services initially? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was one of your guys' campaigns that you're running outbound on for yourself,
Gotcha.
and kind of landed in my inbox and decided to take you up on it. I've seen like a million of those. Obviously, like they're not anything special usually,
Right.
but I think it was like you were pretty direct and to the point. It wasn't over personalized because like AI has a tendency to go kind of like above and beyond, which
Mhm.
freaks people out, like pulling from LinkedIn headlines and whatever else on my website.
Yeah.
You guys kept it pretty clean and straight to the point.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, with cold email, and I know that you know this as well, just because that's how we were running your campaign. But you really just want to be direct and to the point, right? Like, no one wants to get a cold email with someone pretty much just regurgitating like your LinkedIn profile or your most recent post, right? That doesn't do anything for them. What's going to do something for them is a really good no-brainer direct offer. And then like a clear case study where you've done something within their industry or within their vertical, and then just an easy call to action, right? To send over more information or a loop
Yeah.
video or something along those lines. That's typically what we see works best. I'm glad that that resonated with you as well. When we sent you over that email, so I know that you just touched on this a little bit, but is there anything specific that you were struggling with before signing up? I know that you said you had ran into a wall. Were you relying mostly on referrals or other lead gen methods? Had you tried cold email in the past?
Yeah, so I mean, I had access to a few different like lead databases, either like through friends who work in sales or like some of my own tools that I'd paid for. And it's like it's tough to manage like scraping the leads, cleaning them, enriching the contacts, and then also running the outbound, like top to bottom. It's a lot to do, along with running the actual business side and delivering for clients. So that's where it kind of helped to have a partner, agency like you guys, step in and take some of that work off, and kind of go back and forth, workshop like what is our segment, what revenue range, how do we find these leads, and then how do we actually push an offer that lands with people.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, so with that, like, why did you decide that that specific time was the right time to kind of sign up for services like cold email?
Yeah, I think like so I'd signed on a couple clients, a couple of really large ones as well, which kind of freed up some cash flow for me, and that was really like the big determination because I was like, look, weighing against the time that it takes to run the same system myself versus outsourcing that, I think that was the right time to make that call. The cash flow was there, and business was good, so I was like, you know what, let's fill the pipeline with qualified leads and keep the foot on the gas for growth.
Yeah, 100%. And something I tell a lot of prospects as well with cold email, this is why it's so important to just be sending it 24/7 because you never know when you're reaching out to your ideal prospects, right? Like you could be hitting them right at the right time where, like you said, you just signed a couple clients, you got some extra cash flow, and that email just came in and all the stars aligned, right? And so it was the perfect
Right.
time to respond
Yep.
positively and get on the call. So that's why cold email is so important because even if someone, let's say they respond interested and then they don't book a call, or maybe they do book a call but then they don't close, you can always follow up with those prospects up until like all the stars align for them as well. And now it's a better time for them to go ahead and sign up for your services, right? So that's why outbound is so precious, really. Exactly why we do what we do. But so how did cold email kind of help solve what you were struggling with?
Yeah, I mean, I think I needed to more than anything test like my market fit, and that was like one direction that I hadn't been able to get like concrete numbers on. Like I was doing manual phone dials and like using my personal number to dial out cold calls, and then also sending like maybe between 20 and 30 cold emails a day, and like that was 3 days a week. So it was very limited volume, and I didn't know like how is my offer actually landing with people who are like director of marketing, VP of marketing, or even like product marketing managers at these mid-size e-com shops where they have like a solid product and they just haven't been able to scale. So I needed to get some data like, hey, am I getting the right messaging in front of the right people, or is there something misaligned? So that was like step one. And then step two was like generating actual inbound interest. And like, obviously it's like the outbound is a critical part, but I wanted to see if I could like lever that into people naturally finding my own website. And I have seen like searches for my own site kind of uptick over the past few months as well.
Awesome. That's great. Awesome. So, I mean, what have your business results been like since actually running cold email full scale?
Yeah, so we signed I think two or three clients across this engagement, and again, like the number that I'm asking for is not like agency of record. There's like these multi-million dollar agencies, really high scale, but they also outsource all their work to junior partners or junior managers, sometimes even like overseas. So I saw a lot of that while I worked at Google, and my entire approach is white glove. Like I deliver on everything myself, and when I run out of hands and can't deliver on it, I have one person who works directly under me. So it's a two-man shop, and we keep everything really lean. Makes us deliver at a high level. So signing three clients in the span of what's it been like 5 months,
Mhm.
pretty great results, and it's probably below what you typically work with for your clients.
Yeah.
But I'm not going after like small businesses. These are like significant size shops. So
Right.
obviously it's a sophisticated offer. Got to like target the right people and get in front of the right people with language that proves that you are an operator. So
Yeah.
the fact that we did like we baked in A/B testing, like all these other different variations and like segmenting by buyer persona and like all these sophisticated methods that you guys got. That was like a really big turning point for the business.
Yeah, 1,000%. And for those that have a more narrow audience, because our packages range from like, let's say 1,500 emails a day up to 10,000 emails a day, right? So if you have a narrower ICP, obviously you can't go ahead and blast 8,000, 10,000 emails a day because you'll have no prospects to reach out to, right? And so even if you do have that narrower, ICP, just sending them enough emails to where again you have that no-brainer direct offer, you have that clear call to action, you have those case studies in place, that's really going to be the biggest factor, when trying to get results with cold email. But I mean, with that, so what's one piece of advice that you might have for other clients to really get the most out of running cold email?
Yeah, I think really figure out what it is about your business that makes someone want to work with you. And like a great way to take stock of this is just ask your current clients, why do you guys keep renewing with us? Why have you been with us for a year or however long they've been with you? What can we do better? And be brutally honest with yourself. Like if you know that you're delivering something that's under your standard or doesn't line up with the client's expectations, figure out where you can fix that first. So get the operations down first, figure out why people like you, and then just use that to like scale up the messaging. That's the best way to run cold outbound.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that. And so last one for you. So what would you say to someone that's considering working with us?
I would say 100% go for it. It's been a great experience so far working with you guys, and I appreciate like you were out in Hawaii a few weeks or a few months ago, and still made time to like with the time difference, it's 6 hours, so still made time to get up early and like get on that call. So the team's committed, and I've seen that through and through. So I would say I recommend like with no reservations, and again just like it is you get out of it like what you put in. So spend the time, like work with the team and like nail your offer, and you will see the results.
Awesome. I appreciate that, I am. Awesome. It was great speaking with you. Appreciate the time. And yeah, appreciate the video.
Likewise. Cheers, man.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Talk soon.